Peacestorm!
Welcome back to Peacestorm. I died for the first time. My perfect record has been tarnished, and now I'm gonna murder somebody in an elevator. But yeah, let's try it again. Now that all my hearts are replenished. Blood from right there in the garden. What the fuck is she talking about? The knife, maybe? Nope, that wasn't it either. The chickens! Could it have been chicken blood? What? Chicken blood? When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4. So you're saying someone killed a chicken and covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up. Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it. I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory. Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water, and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have been soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. Yeah, only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground around was almost completely clean. I have to agree, that certainly is strange. But maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand. They covered it beforehand? When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would? I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves. And that settles it. Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what? Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with a tarp. Then later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they had already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off at 7:30. If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier. But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off? That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult. Huh? They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time. Maybe, but still. Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on? Oh no, I headed off to the gym and Makoto didn't show up till later. Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say? That's not... Don't bother saying it's not possible. I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate. The suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Well then, looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again our suspects are him and Kyoko. We're serious, man. Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds. Oh. See? Pretty good idea, right? No, not that. I just remembered something super serious. Well, don't just stand there. Out with it. You know that knife that we found all black and burnt? The one we found stuck to the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through from front to back. So, what about it? I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered. It's the knife we gave to Makoto? You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier. Yeah. Then why'd you hide that fact? It's not that I hid it, it's just... I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her. Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced. Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. So I gotta... Yeah, gave was kind of a strong word. It's more like y'all forced Makoto to hold on to it. Hold up. Exploded body analysis. Okay, fragments near the dead body. Okay, so there's no way to, yeah, I don't have... Yeah, the Monokuma file number 5 isn't one of my truth bullets for this debate, so there's no way I can bring up the metal pipe that they were struck with. We've already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed, which means that when the knife was thrust through the coat into the body... Okay, getting stabbed. I think the disguised dead body might be the true bullet to use there. Stab! Alright, well, there are only 2 statements that it could apply to, so... And let's see, I've got, yeah, 6.5 hearts, so... I should at least be able to figure this one out without dying again. If just barely. Because I have... Yeah. There are only 6 possibilities aside from flashbacks, and I got it on my first guess. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard. Lies. We never talked about what killed her. No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that bloodstained coat until after they were dead. Okay, fine, so what? So when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her. Maybe you stabbed her twice, once to kill her and once to cover it up. The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for anyone to see. Or for everyone to see, rather. The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound. Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that. Then the knife was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all the evidence of their crime. So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise. Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that? If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer. Well, if you're so smart, just tell me. I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion. I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her, or we won't make any headway on this. There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion. No, not that one. It fucking scrolled up. No, shut up. Okay. The bomb. After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? The fragment reveals the cause of the explosion. Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before. That's only natural because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb. Oh, then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb. Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who could benefit from that is the only other possible suspect, you, Kyoko. Hold on one second, Byakuya. What's the problem? Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim. That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her? Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless. We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Okay, so only one truth bullet. 被害者の致命傷がはっきりしていないんだったな。あの爆発は致命傷じゃないんだよね。当然だべ。爆発があったのはナイフも関係ないのよね。だとすると他に怪しいの。モノクマファイルによると、そうだ。後頭部に殴られた跡があったんだ。I thought maybe the Monokuma file said she was hit somewhere else on her head. Let's see again. Yeah, it doesn't specifically say the back of the head. Shit. The knife was a cover-up, and all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh, which only leaves... I don't see any contradictions here. That's somehow wrong. Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of her head she suffered. But the file didn't say specifically the back of the head. Okay, I'm not gonna dwell on it. What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it? The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds. Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter. Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her. But then, what was the murder weapon? The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object about as thick as a metal pipe. Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe. How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely. Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle. No way. The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want. No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident. I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours and throw it on the ground and spit on it. I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time. Seriously? We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know. We already know? I knew I could count on you, Master. So what was it? Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deducted the real murder weapon. The real murder weapon? I don't know nothing about nothing. The real murder weapon. I guess the titanium arrows. Yeah, it's like, I don't remember who said it, but yeah, like, you know, they could still be used as a weapon even without a bow. You know, just, you couldn't stab someone with them. I mean, you could, but it wouldn't be very effective. Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker at the dojo. Arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with? Indeed, there's no doubt about it. Are you sure? That sounds kinda weird. Hey, how dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right. I'm not backtalking. I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think. I don't blame Hina for doubting it, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. Okay. Bloody duct tape, woodblock key, titanium arrows. Too thin. If it was just that titanium arrow, it wouldn't be nearly thick enough, which is why they used the duct tape. You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon. Another weapon? Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon about as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did. It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. I tell you another word for a bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation. Damn, that's harsh. How's it harsh? Are you even listening? Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in that dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko. I've never been to the dojo. Oh no, you absolutely have. How can you say that with such confidence? Because we have proof, of course, don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what'll happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all, remember? Of course I remember. Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo. I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo? It must be connected to that dojo locker. Okay, the woodblock key. The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo was right here, the key to the dojo locker. And how does that prove anything? Because I found it in your room. It was in my room. Don't bother trying to play dumb. And that key was the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you're the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up. Hold on a second. Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you? No, it's not that I want to defend her, it's just... There's just one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know. I was just protecting you. What? She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue? Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko... She killed someone? For me? That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand. Wait. I'm warning you, don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer. I knew you were stubborn, but this is getting ridiculous. Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong? I should know? What? Byakuya should know better than anyone? What does that mean? Alright. Wait, Kyoko gave a room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean... Oh, shit. Byakuya? Alright, I think we're gonna have to flashback this one. Alright, there are only so many possibilities. I'm just gonna have to fire about all willy-nilly. The old spray and pray. Okay, it's not that one. Okay, so I'm gonna have to flashback it. But now I've only got 3 guesses left. So I'm gonna have to flashback carefully. Okay, woo! Got it right. I'm trying to resort to walkthroughs less because CC complained that I cheat too much. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into a room. Huh? Why not? Because she had given her room key to Byakuya. I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room, then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong? It would appear not. Then you're finally starting to understand. No, it's not actually true. There's a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Is there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? I don't want Kyoko to be the killer. Oh wait, I just skipped a bunch of dialogue. Okay, the mastermind trap. The mastermind's trying to trap Kyoko, but what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? The mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? Wait, what's she lying about? What am I supposed to do? The mastermind's trap. Kyoko's lie. What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Shit. I'm sorry, everyone else. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned. Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else. But who else could it have been? I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right? What are you trying to imply? But of course I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was only with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room. Well, someone had to have put the key in there. There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, and once they arrived at the scene, they pretended to find it there. What? It had to be Makoto, right? I don't see any other option. Wait a second, you've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case. Huh? A hidden side? First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly showed up dead, and then we're thrown into a trial. Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us, so that's why this has to be... Okay, time's up. Huh? Time's up. Class trial's all over. Everyone can stop talking now.
What? Time's up?
What do you mean, time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we... It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you.
Voting time?
Oh, shit. We're getting deep into this now. Now, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice, or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Man, who are they gonna vote for? They haven't even identified the killer yet. Okay, I guess I got a bad ending somehow.
What? You think I'm the killer?
Sorry, man. Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault.
Everyone, you're wrong. You've got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Good job, everyone.
Good job?
Yeah, they got it right.
No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
It makes perfect sense! It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials. And I'm gonna end it the same way. It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment.
Wait, why do I... Kyoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time! Well, fuck. I guess we're about to be executed. Now, what's gonna happen? Desk slowly being conveyed backward toward a hydraulic press. Makoto's gonna be flattened like a textbook. Bro, what's stopping you from just getting up? What the hell? What just... What? That was Alter Ego that just appeared on the screen, right? Okay. Looks like we just got portaled. Huh? Huh? What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Yeah, it had to be. Alter Ego. Alter Ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell. I don't believe this. Seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning. What was that? What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. This stupid virus is gone now, got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit. In a way, that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world.
Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell's going on? It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
Huh?
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. What are you talking about? You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Hope's Peak Academy brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funded school of privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck's going on? Gah. Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was it just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast, dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. Heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I gonna be stuck here till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me, and he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. Alright, let's investigate the garbage. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. That's a rocket and a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? Yeah, I think these are all props that were used in previous executions, because that was the rocket from the opening FMV.
let's take a look at the door.
It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it wouldn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, might as well grab a Snickers. Yeah, that. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I search for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are all around a bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked out on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up, because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over here? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever had just tumbled down here with me. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
A giant piece of trash? Rude. This place smells awful.
Kyoko?
You look like you're doing better than I expected.
What are you doing here?
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you.
I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash and then faced me again.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished.
Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going.
So you still haven't given up, then?
Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at.
But, Kyoko, why'd you come here to rescue me?
To pay a debt. Or, no, to atone.
Atone?
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you
knew that I knew.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you.
Don't say that. You didn't abandon me.
No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you. But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive no matter the cost.
Why'd you have to survive?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive is so that I can do what I came to the school to do.
What?
I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason.
So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
That's right. At least, I did once.
Once?
Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was.
You forgot? But that's... Then, is it really true? You lost your memory?
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school?
First thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect. Thinking back on it now, At that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was.
But what would make you forget all that?
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient.
Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory.
But why would they want to do that?
There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans.
So the mastermind just stole them from you?
And it could also mean somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time.
But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always the chance that the mastermind is actually one of us.
What?
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. A game possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right?
The mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course she wouldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she'd look into her missing memory by herself.
That being said, there was a limit on what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me.
But why me?
Because among everyone, you were the least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but...
I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind. I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here. Yeah, it's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others. I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced.
Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own, so how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. Oh shit!
You mentioned your ability.
My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. Woo! Okay, so she's not the ultimate assassin. Good, good.
The ultimate detective?
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school.
You had to find someone? Who?
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy.
The headmaster? Why'd you want to find the headmaster?
Because he's my father.
What?
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak.
Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak headmaster? And that explains when Alter Ego told us he thought the headmaster was involved.
My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him.
That makes sense.
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room.
Then what did you see in there?
The room had been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, and the desk drawers were dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there.
You mean the mastermind, right?
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found.
But why there?
Because I also found this in the headmaster's room.
Is this some kind of map?
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed the second floor was the home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check. And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room.
So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors.
So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean.
It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we'd ever imagined.
What do you mean?
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself. I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough.
It sounds like it must be important. And really ominous.
Of course. Oh. Which is why I had no idea what's going on in the rest of the building.
It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it?
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either.
I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed.
Get you killed?
I stole that key and disappeared. In retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me. That was the point of the class trial.
It was?
The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly.
You mean because of the school regulations?
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you're free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion. The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it.
The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
What's that?
There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto.
I could have become the victim?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Do you mean during the night?
I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death.
What?
I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this. Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms, and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room. I ran into your room, and what I saw was what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course. But that wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead. And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me.
So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro was also the mastermind, right?
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think.
But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction.
So, what does it all mean?
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered.
Huh?
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair.
The other ultimate despair?
There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person.
It's not?
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event.
You're talking about
what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
The tragedy? Whoever's responsible for that. They're the ultimate despair?
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
They're...
Make no mistake. They're the root of all the evil that's forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. That is our real enemy. Wow. Nobody died this time. Well, except Mukuro, but... Wait, hold on. So, the counter didn't go down, even though Mukuro is dead. Man, this isn't getting... Yeah.
The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy's finally been revealed. But right now
we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after.
Yeah, you're right.
Alright. And I suppose we will take care of that at a later point. But if you enjoyed this video, then no further actions required on your part. If you have suggestions on what you'd like to see me play next, then let me know in the comments. I'll see you when I see you.
Danganronpa.